Drake, pretty clear. I think you've been smiling ear to ear since this whole thing happened. So, I mean, it's clear you're happy about this. But just, I mean, knowing, like, what a lifelong dream this has been, what's the feeling like for you right now?
I don't know. Like, words can't explain how I feel. I feel like crying. I just feel like screaming. I don't know. I don't know how to act right now, really.
And when you hear Dana say that you're almost like this poster child of a generation, you know, people that grew up watching, I mean, does that resonate with you? Do you see that?
Yeah, well, I didn't really realize it until he just kept saying it. And I'm like, oh, that is kind of true, because I did watch like Spike and all that growing up, and I'm like, I would always think like, what if I was one of those people like growing up, like the new generation and everything, and I guess now it looks like it's happening now.
Very nice. Talk about the fight itself. I mean, you were kind of in a bad spot, and I don't know if I've ever seen a transition that quickly from a bad spot to a great spot. What was going through your head as that happened? I mean, do you drill that, or did it just kind of fall into place?
Honestly, I don't even remember what happened. It just like happened. It just like instinct. But I do remember like when I go like roll around and like work on my jiu-jitsu, I know I was like kind of like not that I'm lazy, but I always like leave kind of my hand there for the omoplata. But I never catch my training partners with it, because they know I always try to do it, like try to go for the triangle. But this time it actually worked, and I was just listening to my coaches to put my foot down and like try to like pull the head down and everything, and then like it worked.
I think it was clear your corner felt convinced that you had it, and so to not let it go, to just make the adjustments. Did you feel like, I know this is in? Because he was in there for quite a while.
Yeah, I felt like, I don't know, because I'm more of a striker. That was my first time ever getting a triangle, like ever probably. And I don't know, I felt like as soon as he picked me up, I was thinking about letting go, just all letting go. I don't want to get slammed. But then they were like, oh, like, I remember that if he slams me, he's going to, like, put me in a better position. So it actually let, like, my ankle, like my foot went, like, I don't even know how to say it. But he just put it tighter when he slammed me. And I was just like, oh, my God, he just did it. And then he just went backwards, and it kind of looked ugly after that.
Nice. Last thing for me, I mean, obviously you're going to want to enjoy this moment. It's clearly a special one for you. But what's the plan? I mean, do you see a date on the horizon that you'd like to make your debut? Do you see names already that you'd like to fight? What's the plan for you?
Honestly, I'm ready to fight whenever they let me know, like whenever they can tell me, whenever I can fight. But I'm kind of want to like train a little bit more, and I'm just excited to go back to training and learn more new stuff and just get better. Even though that happened, I still feel like there's stuff that I could have worked on to get better.
Hey, man. You're saying that, over here down to your left, you're saying that you don't remember what happened. Is that normal for you in a fight, or do you usually, is it just the grappling that's thrown you off?
I don't know, maybe because I haven't fought like almost, I think a year. It's been a year almost since I fought, so I just like I felt weird. And normally last time too when I fought, it was almost been like probably almost a year, like 8 months maybe, and it just felt weird. But I couldn't like get like in the mode. Like, and then I think in the second round, that's when I really like feel good, and I want to like strike, and I want to throw more punches and everything. But this time it just happened out of nowhere. It was just like reaction, just whatever. Like everything that I was working hard for, I guess it all paid off.
It's a nervous thing, right, coming to the Contender series. Is it even worse knowing you haven't fought for a year and you might be a little bit rusty?
Yeah, well, I think so too. But then again, like I haven't been getting injured. Like my body's still good and everything. Like I'm still young. But I remember when I was fighting all the time as an amateur, I would always fight like boxing in between and everything. Like I would just be active, but my body would just like hurt, my knees and everything. And this one, I just feel good. I feel like strong and fast.
As a fan, right? It's kind of cool watching you, listening to Michael Bisping talk about you on the broadcast. What's it like listening to a legend, a Hall of Famer, talk about you like that?
Dude, it was cool. I was gonna say it bad, my bad. It was so awesome. Yeah. It was badass.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Drako, una más aquí en español. Decías que quieres entrar con la música de Nacho Libre. ¿Por qué escogerías esa para tu entrada?
Oh, porque esa es una película que toda mi familia y todos mis amigos siempre la han mirado y siempre me hace dar risa y me pone it puts me in a good mood.
Háblame un poco de la transición. Sé que dices que no recuerdas exactamente cómo vino, pero ¿cómo sentiste ese momento, que obviamente fue una muy buena finalización?
No sé, de repente nada más pasó porque siempre estoy entrenando eso, pero no sé, no me acuerdo, nada más pasó eso, no sé cómo decirlo muy bien.
Decías que tu familia ha tenido, veías con tu familia The Ultimate Fighter. ¿Recuerdas algunos ganadores, por ejemplo, como Efi Escudero, que fue el primer mexicano en su momento? ¿Quién te inspiró de los que veías?
Pues los que siempre miraba cuando me enseñaba mi tío era como Chuck Liddell y todos los old fighters, Anderson Silva, y luego como apenas estaba John Jones viniendo apenas la primera vez, pero nada más estaban dando los reruns, siempre miraba los reruns, porque siempre lo dieron en el Spike TV, en el canal ese.
¿Sabes de dónde es tu familia? ¿De qué parte?
Somos de Piedras Negras, Coahuila, Eagle Pass, Texas.
Muchas gracias.
Bye, guys.
Well, congratulations. Obviously, it's been quite the journey for you to get here. You know, you've had these near brushes, and it's finally done. I mean, give me the emotion right now that you finally got it done.
The whole emotion, it's a bittersweet emotion when you visualize these situations and, like, it all coming and unfolding. It's bittersweet because, like, I want it to happen so bad, and I visualize it happen, so it's already happened in my mind, and now I'm just walking through the process. But I'm just excited to be here, and I'm honored.
Along the way, I mean, you know, all the attention that you had, and, you know, this guy can't miss, and he's the best prospect ever. I mean, when you came up short, was it difficult? I mean, did you ever have mental moments where you're like, damn, maybe I'm not as good as everybody thinks I am?
Yeah, of course you have those moments like that, but that's why you got to surround yourself with the people who are for you and the right people, you know, and they just kept telling me to keep pushing, and I think thankfully I listened to them and believed in myself and believed in my vision and believed in the goal. So. And
you go out there and get it done pretty spectacularly tonight. Did you know that type of finish was available, that you could do it that way?
My team's been telling me a lot. My boxing coach, Dan, has been helping me a lot with my hands and just giving me confidence in my hands and my striking. And guys at Stanford, I knew he wasn't training with the guys I was training with, and I trained with some killers, so.
So now that you're here, I mean, what's the plan? Again, you know, people had this label on you as a prospect. I mean, do you feel like you're still developing and you still are a prospect that needs to kind of slow roll, or do you feel like, you know, you've matured enough now that you need to come in and make waves right away?
I think, like I said before, you know, it's awesome to get a contract, but I don't want to get too excited. I came in this sport to be a world champion. That's what I'm looking to do.
Last thing for me, what is the plan next? I mean, do you have a date in mind? Like, I imagine you're feeling okay after a fight like that. I mean, do you have a date in mind, an opponent in mind? When would you like to debut?
As soon as possible. The one thing I want to do is I want to make sure I get better in my time off, whatever it is. It could be 3-4 weeks. I just want to make sure I'm better than what you saw tonight, you know? So that's it.
Hey, man. I was noticing on the broadcast when they're talking about you as they're going through your highlights and stuff like that, you basically showed no emotion. You just sort of sat there and listened quietly. Is that because of last time you were kind of nervous, like, man, I still don't know if I've got this contract until he says I have it?
Man, just like I said before, it's bittersweet when you visualize so much and you believe in yourself and you believe in your goal and your dream. So, like, me winning was like, okay, I'm going to win. And it is what it is. Now we're just going to see what happens. You got to control the controllables, you know, and I can't control if Daniel's going to give me a contract or not, but I can control my performance, and that's what I did.
Yeah, speaking of your performance, you landed so many calf kicks like straight away. Is that a new tactic that you're going to throw every fight, or was that because this guy was particularly tall?
No, it's one of the things I added in my game since my last fight. Me and my team have been working on it. We knew it was a tactic that was going to work in this fight, and we believe in our kicks and our lower body attacks.
Cool. Congrats, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right, congratulations. Obviously, a pretty spectacular result from you tonight. What's the emotion for you right now?
Hey, man, I'm feeling great right now. Seeing this journey that I've been through and then getting the contract that just refueled me to start getting back on the road now to chase that belt.
You were obviously very calm, composed. I mean, Dana said that you really liked that about you. But your corner was calling for the high kick, right? They saw it. I mean, did you see it as well, or did you just trust them that all right?
Oh, I mean, I saw it as well, but it's just I was being hesitant. But I know I trust what my coach sees. So I threw it the first time, he blocked it, and then I think the second time I threw it was when it put him out. Yeah.
Talk about your last fight. I mean, I don't want to say you were just the opponent last time, but it was your opponent that had all the hype, right? And then what did that do to you? I mean, I got to imagine that result that night did something to give you confidence or to feel like, hey, I'm not just a guy out here facing your developmental people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know going into that fight, everybody, well, he definitely thought he was going to come in there and run through me. But for me, my mindset during that fight was like, man, he better find out when he come through. Because watching his fights, I was like, it's not really much for me to be worried. But dude, he's definitely a tough dude. So I never underestimate any of my opponents. Yeah.
So where do you feel like at now, right? Because even Dana said, man, normally, I don't know, it's so early in his career. I mean, is this going to be difficult for you? I mean, do you welcome, like, hey, I know I'm just a few fights in, but I'm in the UFC, or do you realize, like, man, I'm in deep waters now, so I'm still so early and so, learning in my career?
Oh, I definitely appreciate this challenge because everybody's going to be coming in. I know they're going to be looking to take me out, and that's just going to bring more eyes towards me, and they're going to end up in the same place as all the other ones. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Last question for me. What is the plan from here? I mean, obviously you got the deal, but now you got to make a debut. Do you have a date circled? Do you have a name in mind? What do you see next?
Hey, if Dana calls me and tells me next week, my guy, I'm going to be on there.
What's up, man? Speaking of Dana, I think you're in the room. Did you hear his comments about you when he stood here?
When he's still here?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's probably still back there. What did he say?
He said that he picked, out of all the wins tonight, he picked you to be one to watch in the future.
Awesome.
Said you remind him of a Tyson. Said you got the sort of tactics and the aggression of one. What's your feedback like hearing the president of the company say that?
Man, hearing him say that's really high praise. It just boosts my confidence even more. Makes me want to get right back in the gym and working so that I can't disappoint his view on me.
The opponent was out for quite a while.
Yeah.
We've seen that before on The Ultimate Fighter when Uriah Hall knocked out his opponent, and you see on the face of you that it's a moment of realization. What's it like standing there seeing that?
Yeah, when I saw him laying there and seeing how he was taking his time to recover, it was like, I mean, I know it's the sport we play, but I can't help but feel really bad. So it's like, I really hope he makes a speedy recovery. I know he's a warrior, so I know he's going to be back in there. And I definitely appreciate him because taking this fight with me definitely put me out there. So,
was his movement frustrating? Because he was all over the place sometimes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like his movement was pretty good. Like he was getting away from my punches at first. Took a little bit for me to get that timing down. So he's definitely a good mover.
Was the head kick you saw something set up? Because when he exited, he always exited that way. So did you see that in advance, or was it just you sort of threw it at the end of a combo?
Right. Yeah, I saw that every time I threw something, he would go out that way. I mean, coach was calling it, but I was being hesitant. And then finally, I was like, okay, let's get this thing done. And then once I threw that same combination, I watched them peeped out that way, and I just let that kick fly.
And you got it done. Congratulations,
yes,
man.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Tell us about the journey. You came from another country. You come here, and you're now realizing, I would guess this is your dream?
Oh, yeah. This right here is definitely the dream because coming here, I mean, I was never really too certain about what I was planning to do in the future. I started college going in, but then when I started doing this, just the environment, the people, and everything, it just like I just took all that in, and then I knew for sure being in the UFC and eventually being a UFC champion is something I want to be. So the journey has been, it's been rough. I've made a lot of sacrifices, a lot of things which I haven't been able to do, and now the results are here. So I'm happy.
How old were you when you immigrated over?
I was 10 years old when I came around 2005.
Okay, so when you were back home, but this is your home now, you weren't thinking of being a UFC fighter back then?
Oh, nah, this was the furthest thing from what I was thinking. I mean, I was just running around in the neighborhood and having fun, just playing with the neighborhood kids. That was about it.
So how did you come to, finding the UFC and loving the sport of MMA?
I think it was my second year going into college. I just was looking for something to do during the summer. Saw a 30-day free trial, and then went in the gym. Wasn't actually planning to sign up at all. Once I got in there, brought my friend over, he signed up. So I was like, dang, I felt obligated to sign up. And then just being in the environment, like I said, with the people, just the good energy was just made me want to stay. And the more I stayed, the more I absorbed the everything going on around me. I fell in love with it.
Best money you ever spent?
Oh, man, definitely.
So what does your family think of this, you being a fighter?
I mean, at first, it was definitely like something I wasn't really telling them that I was actually pursuing this as a goal, because coming here from back home, coming for better opportunities, telling your parents that you're trying to be a fighter. The comment that has stuck to me since when I first told my mom was, how are you going to leave your country fighting to come here to come fight? That kind of hit me really hard the first when I told her. But now she's like one of my biggest supporters. So it's beautiful to see the progress of how she's coming to understanding. And this is what I love and this is what I want to do.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Dana said that you really couldn't have done anything much better tonight, that it was pretty much perfect. I'm curious, do you feel that way about your performance as well?
Дана похвалил тебя за твое выступление. Как ты оцениваешь свое выступление сегодня?
Спасибо ему. От души Дану Вайту, я думаю, я смогу лучше драться, потому что это не лучшее выступление мое. Если вы посмотрите предыдущие мои бои, то я намного лучше себя показываю. Будем драться, будем расти. Я благодарен, что я попал в лучшую лигу мира.
Thank you. Чуть громче можешь говорить потом?
Да.
Thank you, Dana White. Thank you to everybody. I don't think this is my best performance. If you watched my other fights, you can see how I'm aggressive, how I fight, and I will fight often, and I want to grow up. I want to show my best shape soon.
Nice. A performance like that will certainly get people's attention. So how do you view yourself now that you're in the UFC? Are you a prospect that's just starting and making your way up, or do you feel like people need to look at you as an immediate contender that can make a division, an impact in the division?
Он говорит, ты сейчас привлек много внимания. Как ты оцениваешь себя? Ты как бы проспект или тебя уже нужно стопами пускать?
Я думаю, я давно готов стопами драться. Let's go.
He said, I'm long time ago was ready to fight with UFC top fighters.
Last thing for me, I got to imagine you're feeling pretty good right now. So how soon would you like to fight? Would you be willing to go over to Fight Island and fight there? Do you want to fight in the States? What's the plan for your debut?
Какие у тебя, когда ты хочешь свой первый поединок планировать? Ты хочешь подраться на острове или ты хочешь остаться в Вегасе? Какие у тебя планы?
Я, наверное, скорее всего, хотел бы подраться на острове, что-то более лучше подготовиться и показать себя в более лучшей красе.
Yes, I would like to fight in Iceland because I want to get better shape and show my best skills.
Just one from me. On the TV, it looked like the referee didn't see him tap and you ended the choke. Is that what happened, or did he stop the fight?
На телевидении, говорит, было, говорит, заметно, что рефери не увидел то, как он стучит. Ты, как эта ситуация была?
Я не стал, я просто я видел, что он стучит, но рефери не останавливал, чтобы никаких вопросов не было, и я ждал, пока рефери остановит. Это же как бы нужно, чтобы рефери остановил, а не так самому останавливаться.
Yeah, I saw it tap, but I still waiting when referee stop because this is my job. I have to wait referee stop. Good.
Thank you very much.